Yeah. All right. If anybody's there, hello. How you doing? Uh, if you're not, well, I guess I'll just sit here and wait and see if somebody shows up. I was here a little earlier. I forgot to hit go live. Oh well, what can I say? But all right. I don't know how long. If nobody shows up. This won't be a very long one. Like the thing says, the countdown has begun. I started counting down till the day I leave, not till the day I retire, because I haven't decided on that date yet. But I know the day I'm leaving here to, and so anybody's listening, I'll just tell you it's 128 days from today. I'll be leaving for the Philippines. Uh, Actually, it'll be before this time, and I'll actually be in the air. I should be at this time here, if not already. I'll be in Chicago, if not beyond. Uh, in the Philippines, I'll be beyond your time. Now I'll be beyond Chicago, my time. Looking at the same hour, adjusting it for the time change. I'll be in Chicago. Should be in Chicago, getting ready to leave for Montreal. But by 9 o'clock on the 18th, your time, I should be, if not in the air, getting in the air pretty soon to go to Montreal. Um, I know people say don't put your address on your. Oh wow, huh? Didn't notice that. But anyway, we're waiting to see if anybody shows up. I got myself, and I don't know if anybody else is here or not. Uh, well, this could be a very short live stream, uh, depending on how quick, if anybody comes up or not. Today's kind of a warm day. It's only for what it's been. It's 4 degrees Celsius, which is warm compared to what it has been. It's raining outside right now. I went out and checked on something, and turned out it was in here. I just didn't see it. I was looking for some money. I thought I misplaced it. Yeah, because I just didn't see where I normally had it, but that's where it was. It was right where I normally leave it. It was there, so. But I went out and checked the car because sometimes I'll take it out and I'll put it in the car if I'm going to stop by the bank or something and I need the money. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming. Happy Saturday evening here from New York. I'm just saying my countdown is 128 days from today. I will be leaving at Eastern time. Will be 6 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Dan, how you doing? And so I'll be leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning on the 18th of May, which will be, I think we'll have the time change by then, so it'll be 6 o'clock in the evening in the Philippines. And I'll fly from Albany to Chicago. Chicago, I'll have about a 45-minute break, and then I'll fly from Chicago to Montreal, which I'll have about a 2 hour break, 2 hour and 15 minute or 2.5 hours, something like that. Break in Montreal, then I'll fly to Tokyo, where again I'll have a little over 2 hour break in Tokyo, and then I fly directly into Cebu. The whole trip's supposed to take about 27 hours. I'll get to Cebu, Mactan. I'm going to be staying in Lapu-Lapu, excuse me, let's say it correctly, the first 2 nights. and I'll get there on the 19th that evening. And so I am, like I said, starting to count the days down. I figured it out. It's 128 from today. And I still haven't figured out what day I'm retiring yet. That's going to be early April. I just don't know if it's going to be the very 1st of April, like April 2nd or 3rd, or if it's going to be like April 9th or 10th. Somewhere in there I'll retire. I got to decide. I got to find out how much vacation time I have, because I'll take that at the end. My boss knows that's what I'm going to do. He'll let me do it. So when I turn on my 2 weeks notice, the end of that notice will be my vacation time. The last part of my notice will be my vacation time. I'll take that so I don't have to work. All right. Now you're bringing Urasawa over to Canada? That's cool. At least it won't be during the real cold time. That would be good. I had a very uneventful day today. One of my friends, I have some couple Chinese friends, her brother, sister. All right, after she graduates, good. Like I said, the brother, sister, and the brother's wife and son, they're good friends of mine. Now the sister's out of town, but the brother called me up yesterday and asked me to go out to lunch with him, his wife, his son, and his mother. So we went out to lunch today. Now his sister had asked me to water her plants because she's been out of the state for about a week, and she's going to be out about another week. So she asked me to go by today and water her plants at her work, which I did. I went and took care of that. Then I took the key back to her. I had a key to her office, and I took the key back to her mother and gave it back to her mother. I don't need the key again. I also went and got my hair cut today. Usually I would do it myself, but I'm going to start letting it grow out a little bit. And if I want to let it grow out a little bit, it's better to have somebody else cut it. I'm also going to before I go over, I'm going to grow my chin whiskers back, because they like you to look, you don't want to question whether or not it's your passport. And on my passport picture, I have the chin whiskers. And I think I look enough like my picture that they wouldn't question it too much. Excuse me. But I'll grow it back. Probably in April, I'll start growing it back. And then I'll cut it back off when I get back overseas. When I get over to the Philippines, I'll cut it off. I don't think I'll keep it. I think it'd be a little warm. Although if I do grow the whole beard, I look like Santa Claus. I have most of the stuff I'm getting out as gifts when I get there. Like I said, I think I discussed this last week. I got a bunch of magnets, refrigerator magnets of New York and Indiana, same amount of both. A little bit, Mike, but it's still far enough away. Like I said, it's 128 days. I think when I really, really get excited will be when I retire. Once I put in that date that I'm going to retire, that's when I'll start getting excited, because then I know it's really close. Right now, like I said, it's almost 4 months still to go. Now I know that's close. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But it just, for me, it's still a little too far out. Yes, I'm starting to get excited, but not as excited as I will be come April. And then come May, once I turn in that time that I'm quitting, I get rid of the apartment. No. I got the New York State, and I got Indiana magnets, and they're the little bigger ones. They're like 3.5 inches by 4 inches. So they're the large magnets. I'm also going to give out, I don't have enough of them yet, but I do have a few. The U.S. Dollar coin, the one that looks like it's gold. We all know it's not gold, but it has that gold color to it. I'm also going to give those out. I want to check. I heard they may have a quarter celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States. If they have that, I'll get those as well to give out. And I got some stuff I'm going to give out as well. Hey Hannah, how you doing? But I won't be able to have as much as that because you're limited on stuff that you can take in certain things. Only like 22 pounds of like chocolate. I can take chocolate, but only up to 22 pounds. So that will limit how much of that I can take. It'll be by the weight. I'm trying to decide which kind of chocolate to get. I will get some chocolate. I'm leaning towards getting one fun size Snickers pack because I know LV likes Snickers. And I'm thinking about getting just maybe Hershey's chocolate. But like I said, I got to be careful how much I get because I can only take up to 22 pounds of that. So I may not be able to give everybody chocolate. And I'll have to be sorry about that. But I will take that as well. I was only going to take one carry-on and one check luggage. And I got to thinking with some of the stuff, it's going to have some weight to it. And so what do I want to, do I want to just limit what I can take to just those two? And I thought about earlier buying a third piece of luggage, a second carry-on. Check-in. Check luggage. And I thought, well, it costs you an extra $100 if you do that. Just a good guess. I think most LVs are similar, But anyway, so I looked to see what it would cost me because Amazon has this thing where you accumulate points and that reduces the cost. Well, I had enough points through Amazon that the suitcase or luggage or whatever you want to call it that I was going to buy was free. I didn't have to pay anything, so it was free. So I just had to pay an extra $100 to take this the second check-in or check-on or however you want to say it. So I'll have to do that. I can't pay for that yet. I checked on that. I can't pay for that until about a day or two before my flight. I guess I could also do it the day of, but I'd rather have it taken care of before that. I haven't set up my virtual mailbox yet. I want some questions I want answered. I don't know if any of you guys know. I rent an apartment, and I'm going to do away with my apartment. Do I have to have a normal street address besides my apartment to set up the virtual mailbox? Because I can do it with my nephew. I can set it up through him. But that will limit when I can get my phone, my new driver's license, because I'll have to get it in his county where he lives. And so I got to figure all that out yet. So Dan or anybody else there, if you know about the virtual mailbox, I appreciate it. I know Dan's got his sons taking care of his. And Mike probably has his son when he's gone take care of his mail. So I don't know if anybody, and I know Tim doesn't do it. So that's something I'll have to figure out. I've looked into it. I know what the cost is, but I don't know about, like I said, I don't have a address besides my apartment. And this is considered my permanent address. Once I move, this won't be my address anymore. So do I have to change that? Well, the stuff I'm taking, I want with me. If there's anything I want to take that I don't want to take with me, I don't even know if there's a place around here that's close to mail it, and I don't have my address yet, Mike. I know where I'm going to be staying the first 10 days, and that's it. And I haven't talked to them to see if they would hold it for me. Now, there is a Filipino American club in Schenectady, which is not, Schenectady not real far from me, but I don't know about bialic boxes. I really don't know. I'll have to check with them and see what that possibility is. But yeah, we'll check on that. Like I said, I want to set up the virtual mailbox, get that set up. I set aside money that I'm taking with me, so I have so much cash on me. I haven't been down to New York City. If I end up down there, there's a place to you can buy currency exchange down there in New York City. I don't know of any others. That's the only one I know of. I wish there was one in Buffalo because I go that way more often. Rochester would even be better, but hey, Chuck, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming. Give me a minute and I'll give you a hang on. Where'd you go? There you are. There you go, Chuck. Now, Chuck, if you got a channel you want of your own, just type in 3Ls and my Nightbot will drop your link for you. But yeah, I just, like I said, I'm starting my countdown. I got 128 days from today. Then I leave for the Philippines. Figure somewhere on 90 some days, maybe less, until I retire. But until I pick out my retirement day, I don't know for sure. Now, this is my day off. I work 4 days a week. My days off are Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And so now, Rang, I don't know if you know this or not. I'm a real Hicks, eh? I used to have a bridge there, and they were attached to two teeth, one on each side, naturally like a bridge. And they run it out, and I didn't know it. I took a bite of a carrot, and it broke out. And it doesn't cause me any pain. I checked having it done here in the States. And if I did it here, I'd have to work at minimum another year. And it could be 6 years. 2 years before I could get all the work done and save money and pay for it. And hey, Michelle, how you doing? Mike, don't rub it in. I will soon have that scheduled myself. It's just going to take me about 3 months to get there. Okay. Then I'll have that Sunday to Saturday off. And, but I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, 128 days, I'll be in the Philippines. And, I'll be on my way to the Philippines. It'll probably be 129 before I actually get there. But 128 days till I leave. Yeah, I'm going to get it fixed in the Philippines. I decided to wait because I can get it done in the Philippines a whole lot cheaper. Probably half the price, or not, maybe even less. Dan, you know me though. I'll be the laziest retired person working that you ever met. Well, that's being perfectly honest. One of the reasons I started my channel was I know once I retire, I'm going to want something to do, and I don't want to work. And so I thought, well, I'll do some vlogging. It'll give me the reason to get up off my couch and go out and see some things and do some stuff. And my family back here and my friends that want to know will be able to see what I'm up to. And if I don't feel like doing something that day, Willie, yes, I've been to the Philippines before. I was in the Navy in the Philippines. It's been many years. But that was the main driving thing. Plus, in the Philippines, the second national language is English. So that means I don't have to learn Tagalog or Cebuano or any of the other dialects. I will be able to get by with just English. Now, I know the English speaking Filipinos, some of them, their English won't be American English. Uh, and even if, you know, if it is, it's the pronunciation would be better in English than mine would be in Tagalog. I mean, my Tagalog would really stink. I'm going to tell you. And so I want to get away from the cold. I want to get away from snow. And another thing about the Philippines, and this would be true about some of the other Asian countries, I can live on just my Social Security. So, like I said, the main reason for the Philippines is English and the convenience of the visa system. I mean, I can go without getting a visa beforehand, show up, I get a 29-day visa. I can extend it for a month after that. Got to do it before the 29 days is up. And then you can do it every 2 months after that. And you can stay up to 3 years without leaving. Now, that gives me plenty of time to decide if I like the Philippines, to find a place that I'm really going to enjoy being at. And so Cebuano is easier, huh, Jerry? Well, thanks for coming, Jerry. Well, I got a raise, but I won't say it was a fat one. I haven't even got my check yet, but my check, I won't get it till mine. I always get towards the middle to late part of the month. So, but I still get my work check, and I got a big pay raise in that because they're not taxing me as heavy. When I say big, I'm lying. It's a small raise, but the take home is, but it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, as we always said back home. And so, yeah, it's but yeah, like I said, I am starting to get excited. The closer we get to my departure date, I'll guarantee the more excited, and then there'll be some anxiety as well. Now, like Michelle, she's in Cebu area. If she's still there when I get there, I'd like to meet with her and her boyfriend or whoever, or one other person she can bring, and we'll get together and I'll buy either Jollibee or we'll have pizza on me. And same thing with I know her name, Mertz. She's in Cebu, so I'd like to get together with Mertz and her family, and but I won't be able to meet everybody the same time, the same week. We'll have to make some arrangements. But yeah, it's, and I do plan on going over to Dumaguete sometime after I'm there. That is one of the areas that I'd like to check out. Whether I want to, I may decide I love Cebu and don't want to leave it, but I still want to check some other areas out. And Dumaguete, Valencia, that area over there is one of the areas I want to check out. Also want to check out Iloilo. No, in the United States, we get it at, some people get the first of the month. Some get it, I get mine towards the middle of the month, towards the end of the month. There's people that get their check later than I do. I'm not the person to get their check last. What they do is they go by, if I remember right, I think it's your birthday of the month. That could be the month, but I believe it's the day of the month that is your birthday, unless you started like my older two sisters, the ones that passed away. They used to be everybody got it on the third of the month. That was everybody in the United States. At one time got their check on the third of the month. Well, they changed that. But those that were getting it on the third of the month continued to get it on the third of the month. I get mine on the third Wednesday of the month. My cousin George gets his early because his birthday's earlier than mine, a lot earlier than mine. I think he might get his on either the first or second Wednesday. I get mine on the third. My sister Alta, who's still living, She gets hers around the third or the fourth Wednesday. LV, 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 LV. I watched Dan's live stream after it was already posted. I didn't get to see it live. When you were up there, great live stream with you two. You two really worked well together. Very entertaining. Yeah, like I said, I know a lot of people still get it the first of the month, Tim. I just happen to be one that doesn't get it that early. Like I said, mine is the third Wednesday of every month is when I get my Social Security. And like I said, it's enough money that I'm going to be able to live in the Philippines and still save money. Now, I'm not going to live in BGC and do that, but I could probably do it in Cebu. Now, that naturally, I won't be able to save as much in Cebu as, let's say, I went to Dumaguete or maybe Iloilo, but I'll still be able to save money. And that's the big thing for me. I want to be able to save some money. Like I said, I'm going to be in Cebu at first to get this all done. I'm going to have the implants. I'm going to go for implants. So and I'll check out a couple different dental offices over there. I know a couple of people that had dental work. I shouldn't say I know. I know some YouTubers that had dental work done in Cebu, and they both went to different dentists, different dental group. And they both liked the work that was done. So I'll go check with a couple of different dental groups and see what the price is going to be to have what I want done. I will tell you how much it would cost me here in the States and how much it costs me there. That will be a video there. I may show some of the work when it's being done. All right. Yeah, like I said, Tim, I know a lot of people get my sister Ruthann, and I believe my sister Wanda both. Those are my two older sisters that passed away back in August last year. They got theirs on the third of the month, but they got it on the third of the month before. Like I said, my oldest sister was 82 at the time she passed away, and the other one was 77. So they'd been getting their Social Security for quite some time. My oldest sister took her, I believe both of them took it at 62. I could be wrong, but I believe both of them took it at 62. And and my sister Ruthann was on disability as well. So it might have been younger than 62. She was on disability. She had MS. My oldest sister, my sister Ruthann, the second to the oldest, she had MS. And my other sister, my oldest sister, she was a school teacher. And her and her husband both retired at 62. Now, he was an electrical engineer. He used to design color TVs. Then he worked for Eastman Kodak. And if you remember that digital camera they had, he helped design that. And then they had a printer that you could take your stuff in and get pictures printed out. He helped design that. Like I said, he was either electrical or electrical engineer or what's the other term? Oh, still with electricity, but it's not electrical. It's I can't think of it. But yeah, he was one of those engineers. He did that for years and years. He was doing that when they met. My sister was teaching school, and during the summer she'd work at a restaurant, cafeteria style restaurant in Indiana, up in Indianapolis, and he was working for, I think he was working for RCA in Indy, and at that time. But Jerry, I'm quite certain I'll have to play Frogger. But by watching you and Chris, there's a few tips I picked up from you guys just by watching. One, walk towards the traffic. Two, follow the locals across the street. When they go, you go, unless it's wide open. But like I said, let the locals lead you. And like I said, walk towards the traffic if you have to be in the street. And yes, Elvie, Jerry's back in Texas. He's put up a few videos already back home. And so, yeah, like I said, if anybody wants to come up, the link is there. You're more than welcome to come up. I enjoy having company. And there's nothing wrong with that, Chuck. I myself want to wait until I get to the Philippines and decide where I want to live before I try to find a girlfriend. And I myself want somebody a little older than what a lot of guys want. Uh, and they're nothing against the younger women; they're absolutely gorgeous, and some of them are going to be more mature than I am. So it's not the maturity. I'm not looking at that. But let's be honest about it: the younger women are more than likely going to want to have kids. Well, I'm 72 years old now. If I have a child after I get over there, I'm going to be 73, going on 74, and it's all right, Jerry. I'll try walking with you, Trevor. I thought walking against it would probably be better because I can see them coming. But anyway, at 72, I mean 73, 74, if I have a child that late in life, and there's guys that have done it over there, and that's God bless them if that's what they wanted to do. But I want to see my kids grow up if I have a kid. And at 74, by the time he gets out of high school, I'm going to be in my 90s. Am I really going to live that long? Now, I know my mom lived to be 99. Her dad, her granddad, his dad, and her older brother all lived to be in the early 90s. That's what I said. You want to face the traffic. That's what I was saying. I thought that would be the better way to go. But they all lived to be in their 90s. And she's got an uncle on her mother's side who lived to be about 97, 98. So my mom's side of the family, there's a lot of longevity. But that doesn't mean I'm going to live that long. I hope I do. Well, Elvie, when I first get there, it's going to be too hot to walk in the afternoon. I'm going to have to do the walking in the morning or the evening because it's going to take me a while to adjust to the heat and the humidity. Let's be honest about this. Uh, Now, like I said, I've been in the Philippines before, and I didn't have a lot of trouble back then. But then again, I was in my 20s. I happened to work in a laundry, and it was always hot in the laundry. I mean, it was even with the air blowing, it was 120 degrees in the laundry. Now it was dry, but it was still that hot. So, it was a little easier to take the heat back then. Dan, I'm going to lie to you every chance I get just because, I like you. What can I say? But like I said, that was back in when I was a young. I turned 21 in the Philippines, so that tells you about how long ago that's been. All right. Uh, so I enjoyed it immensely on my 21st birthday because all of you that's been to the Philippines know the drinking age in the Philippines is 18, and they don't. I'm gonna be with you, Willie. It's not that I can't do one. I don't have kids. I was never fortunate enough to have any kids, so therefore I have no grandkids. So I don't feel bad about going. I know there's a lot of guys that want to go back and forth a lot because of the kids or grandkids. I don't have kids or grandkids, so and I would not mind having a kid outside of my age. If I was 10 years younger, I'd be all for it. 20 years younger, definitely would want one or two. But at my age now, uh, I'm not so sure. Uh, But that's, like I said, that's the reason. It's my age, not because I don't like kids, because I do. But well, Chuck, I'm sorry. I'm glad that you found somebody, but I hope it works out for you, brother. Uh, well, I think with long distance relationships, you need to go over and see her. Uh, that's my opinion. I mean, I don't see how they work unless you actually meet face to face. Because I have talked to women on phone before, and I'm talking about here in the States. Uh, I have cousins that carry on the name, but neither one of my brothers had any kids. So my line of the family dies with me. All right. As far as the name goes. Now, my sisters, I have three, between my oldest sister and youngest sister, they have kids, but their last name's not Lee. I understand that, Chuck. Like I said, uh, but you really do. You take your time to get to know her, and then if you still feel this way after a few months, you need to go over and see her in person. And because anybody can keep up a facade if you're only talking a few times a day for a half an hour to an hour. Uh, it's easy to keep up a facade, but once you get there and you spend time together, uh, that's how you find out if it's got a chance. Because when you there's a guy, and I'm trying to think of his uh, island nomad or something like that. He fell hot and heavy for a girl in the Philippines, and within a couple months after talking, he moved over to the Philippines without ever meeting her first, just online talking. And they lived together for a little bit, but then he decided, they both decided, let's back off because we really don't know each other that well. He went out and got his own place, and they're still seeing each other, getting to know each other. So but I'm not saying it hasn't worked out for him, but they decided, hey, we jumped in too quick. Let's really take our time and get to know each other before before we get too far along. So that's a smart thing. But they still get together. They still doing stuff. But he has his own place now. She stays with her family, which is not far away, and they do things together and stuff like that. He likes the family, but like I said, they'd been talking for about 2 months, and then boom, he moved, he got rid of all his stuff, moved because he's got a job that lets him work remotely, and he just moved over. That's it. And that's not the way to do it. Now, if you've known the woman and you're together for 2 or 3 months, and you decide that, I don't see anything wrong with that. My parents knew each other 3 months before they got married. That was it. And they were married by the time my dad died, for almost 40 years. 30 some years. It wasn't quite 40, but they were close to it. Now, my oldest sister and her husband were married for about 59 years, and they only dated maybe 6 months. And the only reason they went that long was, like I said, she was a school teacher, and they decided to get married, but they waited till Christmas, the winter break. And so then they got married on, I think it was that Friday of her winter break, and they courthouse wedding. And like I said, they were married almost 59 years. If she'd have made it to December, it would have been 59 or 60 years they were married. They were together for 59 to 60 years. I'm trying to remember which. They were together for a very long time. So being a short time relationship can work out, but I don't believe it can work out unless you're actually together. You need to be together so you can really get the feel, is this person for me? And she can get the same feeling. No, Jerry, you're wrong. the 51st and 52nd. They're not taking all of Canada. They're taking just part of it. If you're going to say it right, say it right. They're not going to take all of Canada, just part of Canada. But I want to check something. Now, Willis, how long have you been a channel here, buddy? It doesn't tell me. It just says you have 3 subscribers. Yeah, but like a guy I was in the Navy with when I was on shore duty out in Washington State. Now, him and his wife had been married for quite some time, and he took a job, a base where she couldn't go with him, and he did it intentionally. He went to Diego Garcia. It's an island out in the Indian Ocean. And there's a woman behind every tree. The only problem is there's no trees. That's the joke, okay? But there's no women there. There might be now because they integrated the military a little more. But at that time, no women was stationed there. It was all men. And him and his wife had been married. They had 3 sons. And he was getting close to time to retire. So he took that duty station. So after a year, he would be able to pick, and he picked where I was stationed at the end. For his last duty station before he retired. But he sent her all the money he made. She saved all that money up so they could buy a house. And he had a part-time job on base. I think he worked in the club. And that's the money he spent. His military check went to her for savings so they could save it. My birthday's in September, Michelle. So I'll be in the Philippines before I turn 73. Like I said, I'll get there in May. It'll be the 19th of May when I get there. It'll be at night, late at night. In the Philippines, it'll be late at night when I get there on the 19th. I'll spend the 19th and 20th on Mactan Island in the hotel I got there. The 20th, the 19th into the 20th, I figure I'll probably just be sleeping. I'll probably sleep. And then the 20th to 21st, I may sleep. I may get out and go around to see some things. And but like I said, I'm going to be in Cebu for 8 days at another hotel. And I may, Dan was telling me that that hotel has monthly rates. And if it's a good rate, I may just stay there. Unless I can find something I like better. But like Dan says, most of the time you're not in the room, you're out moving around doing things. That hopefully is true, but I may have to be in the room a little more than I like because during the rainy season I may not be able to get out much. But, we'll see. Dogmatic Dan's channel, huh? Well, Dan, the thing is, I don't care what your political beliefs are. They're yours. I have mine. Like Mike has his. Jerry has his. All I care about is are you good people? Because good people can disagree. Now, if you wish ill, like you wish the death of somebody because of their political beliefs, then you're not a good person. I don't wish anybody that disagrees with me death. It's just that simple. Yes, Hannah. Yeah, like I said, I leave in 128 days from today. I'll get there in 129 days. So, like I said, my countdown has begun, and the closer I get, the more excited I will get. And I'll be honest, I'll probably get a little more anxious as well, because the only people I know over there are you guys. And, Now, Dan and I have talked with where we've seen each other and talked to each other. Jerry, but Jerry's in South Texas. A lot of you, I've watched your videos and I've watched your live streams, but it's not the same thing as being up there where you talk back and forth like Dan and I have done. So I know Dan a little bit better than the rest of you. But Dan happens to live in Bye Bye on Leyte, and I'm going to be in Cebu City in Cebu. But no, I'm not going beachfront. The beachfront's not what I'm looking for. I want to be close enough to go to the beach, but I'm not interested in being right down on the beach. I burn easy. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's spots up there. And there's spots in my hands, if you can see them, the white spots. Those are all precancerous. So skin cancer runs in my family. My dad had it on his neck. So, you know. Yeah, Tim, I'm almost down to 2 digits. It's 128 days. I mean, 3 weeks, and I'm down a little over 3 weeks. Less than 4 weeks, I'm 2 digits. And in the military, you know, you're two digits, you're a midget. You know? Oh, you live in Cebu too, Hannah? Then we'll have to get together with you as well. I know Michelle's there, and Mertz lives in that area. And like I said, we'll get together sometime. I can't guarantee who I'll get together with first and how often we'll get together. But I do want to meet some of you guys in person. You're welcome to bring one person with you, whether it's unless you got kids, then you're welcome to bring your kids. But I'm a poor boy, so I won't be able to do this every week. I might have to do it every other week or maybe once a month. But I'm going to be in Cebu for a while because I got to get this done. And so I'll be there a good maybe a year, 3 months to a year. Yeah, there's a lot of tourist spots in Cebu City and the surrounding areas. The top of Cebu. There's Magellan's Cross, the markets, and then there's places to go diving. You go to Leyte, not Leyte, listen to me. You go to Lapu-Lapu, Mactan Island. There's places over there. So Oslo, yeah, they go swimming with the whale sharks. There's all kinds of stuff to do. And that's why I said I'll be there a good, I figure 6 months to a year, unless I really hate it. But I'm still going to be there minimum 3 months just to get this done. That might be 6 months. And then I want to go to places like Dumaguete and Valencia. I want to go see the Sunday market in Valencia. That's fascinated me for years. And yes, folks, I've been watching videos on the Philippines for years. I started my YouTube channel in 2017 because I was watching Chris in Cebu, and I couldn't comment on his live stream unless I had a channel. I mean, I could comment in his the videos, but I couldn't comment on his live stream without having a channel. So I started my channel back in 2017 because I was following people in the Philippines and at that time also in Thailand because I was trying to decide which place I wanted to go. I'm basically a centrist. I believe there's good on both sides. I really do. I happen to fall more on the conservative than I do the liberal, but I happen to have a little liberal in me as well. But yeah, Lapu-Lapu is near Mactan Airport, and I'm going to be staying on the first couple of days. I'm going to be at an airport, Lapu-Lapu, at a hotel there near the airport. It happens to be one that says they'll pick you up from the airport. So that's one of the reasons why I took it, plus the cost. The cost wasn't that expensive. Yeah, I'll have to walk the circle. I'm sorry. I have to go down to the circle, but I have to go to the perch. Yeah. See if Batman is still there. Uh, but yeah, I have to go to that area. And so, yeah, like I said, I've been thinking about moving to the Philippines or somewhere overseas. Like I said, I was checking out Thailand as well. I even checked out Vietnam a little bit. I thought about South America. The places I didn't think about was Europe. There's no place in Europe that would interest me because, like I said, I want places that don't have ice and snow and cold. And Europe has that. Uh, China has that. I'm not going to China. Um, I used to date a girl that was a friend of my friends, actually. I dated this girl that was Chinese, and she wanted me to go to China. It's like, not happening. We broke up not because I wouldn't go to China. This was uh, long before she wanted me to go. It's like, I'm not going to China. Just not doing it. I mean, it's just not that easy to get around. All the signs are going to be in Chinese. Uh, Hopefully, you could meet people that speak Chinese, but it just no. I did not check that out at all. I did, like I said, I did look into Thailand. I did seriously consider Thailand for a while, and then I decided, well, I don't need to do that. That's not for me. But I did. I had every time I had a Filipino vlogger, I had a Thailand vlogger. I'm trying to remember who I found first. I want to say it was Thailand, and then I found somebody in the Philippines I liked. You guys might know Life Beyond the Seas, Ricky. I was following him. I ended up quit following him because yeah, Jerry, Low Order would be happy with that. He didn't like the. He's always saying the jeepneys were not going to last, that they were going to be replaced. Uh, let's see, the Filipino peso right now, you get 59.17 pesos to every U.S. dollar. I just looked. That's what it is right now. Yeah, Jerry, Dan. Like I said, I looked at that, so that's why I'm with you. I decided that it was not for me. I didn't like all the rules and everything else because the ease of I'm trying to say, the ease of the visa and because both places I think have friendly people. I really do. Uh, I think the Filipino people are probably a little friendlier, but both places have friendly people. But in Thailand, they have some rules that I don't see myself wanting to follow. Plus, they drive on the wrong side of the road. Dang it! Well, now, Dan, after I've been there a while, I may go visit Cambodia. I can't say I may never leave the Philippines. I just don't know. Because right now, I am more worried about finding my place in the Philippines. Where am I going to be happy? Is it going to be in Cebu? Maybe Lapu-Lapu? Is it going to be in Dumaguete, Iloilo, Davao? Uh, you know, outside of someplace outside of Manila, because I know it won't be in Manila, but it could be close to Manila. Uh, I just don't know. No, I'm not going to buy a boat. Uh, they have ferries. If I want to go by boat, I would just uh, pay for passage on a ferry. I don't know how much you want. Uh, Will you get the PH there? So I don't know if it's Willie's Philippines or not. But they have a couple different styles of boats to transfer on. They got the small ones, and it's like I forget what they call it, but they got the outriggers. They're really small, and they'll take you from when the islands are close, take you back and forth. They got the fast ferry, uh, which, you get on that. It's a more comfortable ride. It's quicker. And they got what they call the Ro-Ro. It's roll on, roll off. So let's say you want to take your bike or your car. You pay for your ticket. You drive your car or your bike, motorcycle on there. You park it. There's places to go sit down. You go that way. Now, that's a little slower than the fast ferry, but you have your own vehicle with you. I don't think I'll take a Ro-Ro because I don't plan on owning a vehicle, at least not at first. Now, once I decide where I want to live, I might buy a vehicle. Let's say I decide I want to live in between Valencia and Dumaguete. I might get a bike so I can get around a little easier. But in Cebu, I don't believe I need a bike or a car. There's plenty of public transportation, a lot of ways to get around. And I don't. I may be a tourist, but not a full-time tourist. I'm going to hopefully be there full-time, but I may be like the travel around the Philippines to different places to see it. And I plan on doing that, but how much of that I do will depend on my cost of living and how much it'll cost me to bounce around in different places. Now, from Cebu to Dumaguete, that's not going to cost me much. They're so close together. I will go up to Manila, but I just don't know when. There's some things up there I want to see, like the Venice Grand Canal Mall. I want to see that. They got the World War II cemetery up there, the Manila Cemetery for World War II. I want to see that. It's like I'll probably go visit Tim. They got a World War II cemetery close to him. I'll probably go see that. And meet up with some people in that area. But yeah, I'll probably end up over in Leyte as well. And visiting Dan and maybe Madeline and a few others over there. So like I said, I do want to go around and see some of these places, whether I decide, even if I've already decided where I want to live, I still want to go to some of these places just to see them. I've seen so many videos on them. Like I said, I've been checking out videos, 9 years? Yeah. Like I said, I want to meet Anna Mae myself. There's a lot of people I'd like to meet, but like I said, how long it's going to take me, I don't know. And yeah, they do have boats you can rent uh, uh, to take a tour on. They do have those. I know they have those off of Mactan Island. They'll take you around and let you see the things from the. But they do have those, and I just, I don't know if I'll take an Uber boat. Uh, like I said, I more than likely would take a fast ferry if I'm going somewhere, because I don't. Uh, Plugged up, but yeah, it just there's just so much to do that I can't even plan yet. I I have to wait till I get there, see what my monthly expenses are, and the lower I can keep. When I say monthly expense, I don't mean with traveling. I'm talking about how much my uh, rent will be, how much my utilities, how much my water bills, uh, and I'm not talking about the utility water. I'm talking about the drinking water, uh, and how much my food is going to cost me every month. So my what I need just to live in that area and have a little bit of extra money. So I mean, is it going to cost me 800 or 1,500? I don't know. Uh, but that will determine how much traveling I can do. Now, if I could get a place where I could pay my rent all my utilities, my let's go ahead and go with my phone bills, my internet, all that kind of stuff, and my grocery bills. And with being able to go out maybe once a week or twice a week, I'd like to go out more than that, but I want to see what I can get by on to say, well, this I got to have at least this much every month. That anything over that, I can divide out. So let's say I can get by on 800 a month, but I want to spend 1,000 because I want to go out a couple times every week or maybe more. So be it, and then whatever. But let's say I need 1,200 to do that. All right, that tells me how much money I got over that, how much I can put back each month to take a really nice trip, or maybe take a couple shorter trips and take one every week. That's what I got to figure out. And I can't figure that out until I'm there because I don't know what it's going to cost me. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that I'm not into the bars, Jerry or Dad. And like I said, it would be nice to visit the beach, but uh, if I was going to go to Thailand, I don't know if I'd go Pattaya, Bangkok maybe, uh, Chiang Mai possibly. Uh, no, like I said, I'm not into the bars. It doesn't matter whether I'm in the Philippines or Thailand. I'm not into the bars. And like I said, I would probably enjoy a short trip to Bangkok or Chiang Mai, but I don't know if it'd be enough to make me want to go. Uh, I would probably prefer. Uh, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Uh, like I said, no, I'm not really into the beach scene. Uh, who's the average age of 37? There, Dad. Is that the Thailand's average age is 37? Man, I'd be grandpa over there. Well, I'd be grandpa here if I had kids. I'm not great granddad. Uh, but yeah, it's just uh, I might stop at a bar with a friend, but I doubt it. I'd rather sit at my place and have a drink, but I just really don't drink much. Uh, I still haven't opened up that bottle of wine I've had for 2 years now. Uh, all right, Thailand's 37, Philippines is 24. Okay. I'm definitely old enough to be grandpa in the Philippines. Let's be honest, not great granddad. But 37, at least that would make them, let's see, that would make them a little more than half my age. You'd have to go 3 times 24 to get to my age. So I'm 3 times older than the average age in the Philippines, but I'm only twice as old, not quite twice as old as the ones in Thailand. But yeah, it's I really do, I really do want to go. Just because I've been looking at it and thinking about it and trying to decide if I can actually pull the trigger on it, and it started coming to fruition last year. Actually, even the year before, it started coming to be about 2023. Uh, the plan came before that, but where I knew that I was going to be able to do it was in 2023. Uh, Once I knew the bills were almost paid off, got the bills paid off, and I actually started saving money, which is something I wasn't getting too crazy because I used to get out of debt and go right back in it. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? Thanks for coming. And so once I broke that cycle of getting out of debt and going back in, well, that's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that, Tim. I would rather have the family friendly, but that's me. I know a lot of people go there for the fun and games of the adult variation. But that's not for me. Uh, yeah, Ellie, I am getting excited. That's for sure. But like I said, each week is going to be more and more. Uh, and like I said, there's going to be a little more anxiety going along with it because now Tarlac, is that in Leyte? Is Tarlac in Leyte, Dan? I've heard of Tarlac, but I'm not. I can't remember where it was at. But there's some. Like I said, there's a lot of areas. The one thing I do want is I want a good hospital close by. That's one of the things I like about Cebu. Uh, Cherbourg is supposed to be a good hospital. Uh, I think Dumaguete has got a decent one. Like I said, I'm not talking world class. If I wanted world class, it'd have to be in Manila. All right, there, Crystal. I don't know how much longer I want to be going. I've been going for over an hour. No, Chuck. You have as a foreigner, as an expat, we cannot own property. We can own condos, but we cannot own land. And the only way I'd build a house, I'd have to own the land it was sitting on. And I can't do that. So, no, no, I will not build a house. I may rent one, but right now I don't plan on renting a house. I plan on renting a condo. Uh, Eventually, like I said, I may not at first. I may just stay, if it's affordable, I may just stay in hotels for a while. Depends on how much it's going to cost me per month. Uh, but like I said, I'll look for a place that's affordable to me until I find a place where I want to be. And okay, well, like I said, I do plan on going that way, Crystal. I want to meet up with you and Mark and Tim and all that area. Uh, like I said, I can't say when. I'll know more after I've been in the Philippines for a few months because I got to remember to keep my dental bill separate from my expenses. Yeah, like I said, I want to find a place that I'm comfortable, that I enjoy, the people around me, uh, and have things to do. Uh, and there are a few places I've seen that look really nice, but that don't mean once I get there, it's going to be for me. Like I said, I really like the looks of Iloilo. Uh, I really like certain. I love Valencia, uh, but I don't think I can afford up this. I'm not sure. I like Dumaguete. I like Cebu. I know Cebu, uh, but you don't know until you look. And when I first get there, and okay, Pia road signs. All right, but all right, Tim. About an hour north of you, but like I said, I want a good hospital close to me and some entertainment. I don't mean bars. I mean uh, like uh, well, one guy I'm following, Joe Wander. Him and his girlfriend April. They just went to Mango Ranch. They have the you go there and for $20 you can rent a four wheeler and go on a trail for I don't know how long, but it looks like it could be fun. You also got places where you can go to uh, waterfalls. You've got adventure parks. You got different stuff to do. You That's what I mean by entertainment. A good sized mall where you can go watch a good movie, uh, sit down and have a decent meal. And I don't care if it's American or Filipino meal, just a good meal. Uh, so okay, so all right, Dad. Tim says it's about an hour from him north, and it's about an hour south from Crystal. So it's just about halfway between the two. All right, that's not bad. But so yeah, it just I can take Cebu. You got top of the Cebu, top of the city or top of the world or what? Top of Cebu's up out there on the mountain with a really nice lookout. Good food up there. You got Magellan's Cross. You got Oslo, where you can go snorkeling with the whale sharks. Uh, so there's things to do. That's entertainment. You got the water. It's kind of like a water park that you can go in. The fish can swim over you, and you walk through a tunnel. So I mean, there's a lot of things to do without going to the park. So that's what I want. I want stuff to do, and I don't need to do this stuff every day. I just want something I can go out, say, hey, I feel like doing something today. Let's go there. I hadn't been there ever, or I haven't been there in a while. Let's go see it again. Uh, that's so I want a city of fair size. It doesn't have to be as large as Cebu, and it doesn't even have to be a large city as long as there's a lot to do close to it. As long as they got a good hospital, and no, I don't think a comedy club. Well, Tim, the problem with a comedy club, if it just catered towards the expat humor, the Filipinos wouldn't. A lot of Filipinos wouldn't get it, and if it catered towards the Filipino sense of humor, we probably wouldn't get it. I don't think I want to go to Baguio. I'm with you, Dan. I don't know if I want to go up there. Uh, Although it'd be nice and cool, but see, that's another thing about Valencia. It's cooler, uh, and it's close to Dumaguete. So, like I said, there's a lot of different places I want to check out. Some of them I probably already know I don't want to live, but I want to see them. But that can change once you get there. Well, if it's gone when I get there, it won't bother me. I because I wouldn't go down at night anyway. The only time I would go down to Walking Street would be during the day. I have no real interest in seeing Walking Street. Uh, but like I said, during the day it might be interesting to see it, but I wouldn't want to see it at night. I wouldn't want people thinking I'm down there for that entertainment because that's not what I'd be down there. I'd be down there just to see it. It's like if I ever went to Pattaya, I would just go into some of those walking areas only to see it for no other reason because you've heard of it, you've seen it, but I'm not that interested that if it goes away, wouldn't bother me a bit. Uh, like I said, if I go to Angeles, it's to see Tim, it's not to see Walking Street. Uh, uh, See, it depends on the club. But see, the problem is a lot of clubs are so loud that you can sit right next to each other, not really hear each other sometimes. It's just too loud. And so unless you want to get drunk and dance and not talk to each other, I just now when I was in the service in Civic Bay, you had live bands playing all the time, but you had some bars that you could go into that were quieter if you wanted. But back then I was much younger, so I was into the loud. I was into that, and I usually went to the country western bars, but I did go to the Green Apple Disco. Went there a couple times. But you two enjoy the clubs. Tell me how you like it. Crester, you better take Mark along because the guys won't leave you girls alone. So Mark can help keep you safe. All right. Uh, you girls go in there by yourself. The guys are going to be, of course, you'll get free drinks. They'll be buying your drinks probably. But yeah, old enough. You're right. But just like I said, if you've never been, I can understand wanting to try it out. I can understand. Like I said, Elvie, if you've never been, I understand that. Like I said, I did it when I was younger. I was still doing it at 33. All right, I was still going to the bars. I mean, it was just I was still going in. I was still drinking. I was still shooting pool, and depending on the bar, some of the bars had dance floors, and if I had a few drinks, I get out on the dance floor once in a while. I was never a good dancer. I always liked slow dancing. You get to hold the woman up close, and much more. I was much better slow dancer than a person out there shaking his booty. And you may be right, Dan. Especially Chris, not Crystal, especially Elvie. Crystal would probably be the same one between the two of them. Although it would take her a while to get her sanity back. I'm with you, Tim. The clubs are just too loud anymore. When I was younger, it was different. Uh, and if the club's large enough, you sit in the back, you can maybe hear each other talk. But if they're small clubs, you can forget it. They're going to blow your eardrums out. But I I haven't been in a bar, an actual bar or club, let's say club with music and all that. Oh God. Let's see, 10, 15, almost 20, about 20 years, maybe longer. Probably about 20 years since I've been in a bar, a club, not a bar, a club. When I say club, I mean with loud music playing and dancing and all that. It's been over 20 years since I've been in a club. It's been over 20 years since I've been in a bar uh, outside of a bar or restaurant where I get something to eat and then I leave. Uh, but yeah, uh, and the last one, the last few I were in, I was staying at the hotel, and that was where the restaurant was. That was in the bar. That's the only reason I was in the bar. Christina, how you doing? Thanks for coming. But so yeah, I'm not into the nightlife anymore. Oh, it just it's gone past me. It's just not something I'm into. Uh, like I said, nothing against having a beer down there, and I'm not against that. It just I don't drink by myself, and I don't go to bars, so I just don't drink. And but now, if somebody came over here and had a couple beers and wanted me to have one with them, I'd have a beer with them. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. Uh, Same thing if I go to a friend's house and say, "Hey, Larry, let's have a beer." I tell them, "Well, I'm driving. I can't." They say, "Crash out here." Okay, I'll have a beer and spend the night there. And so yeah, it just I'm not into the bar scene anymore. Christina, in case you're wondering, I got 128 days left until I leave for the Philippines. No dirty dancing for me, Elvie. Uh, that's not my thing. I like slow dancing, where you hold the woman up against your body and you sway to the music. That's my kind of dancing. Uh, but I used to do the other as well. I used to do the fast dancing and all that good, happy stuff. But like I said, the fast dancing I didn't usually do until I had a few drinks in me. I was I never considered myself a good dancer, especially when it comes to fast dancing. But yeah, now we had a club on base, but our club on base was usually nice and quiet. Uh, we rarely had a band, but we did once in a while. And like I said, there again, I was a much younger man. I was in my mid 20s, so that was more my thing back then. The bars like that, the clubs. But uh, I don't know if I outgrown it or just you know no longer have the need for it. I don't know how you would say it. It just no longer appeals to me. So I just don't go. But yeah. So for those of you now, Christina, where do you live at? What I'm going to Cebu City is where I'm going to be at when I get there. Now I know a few of the people here and another person who's not here today, but live in that area, and I'll probably get together with them at some time. And maybe, like I said, I don't mind if they bring, if they're married, bring their husband. If they're single, bring a friend. Uh, if you got kids, bring the kids. But I can't be feeding a bunch of people. I happen to be how shall I say this? For an expat, I'm a poor boy. Now, I know compared to the Filipinos, I'm not poor. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, compare me to a lot of the other expats, I'm not as well off as they are. I'm not complaining. That's just the way my life went. And it was my choices that made it that way. But I have to take that into consider. Yeah, a big band club with ballroom dancing, I've done that. But I'm not much of a ballroom dancer. When I was on shore duty in Washington State, Mike, and her name was Michelle, but she preferred Mike. Uh, she loved to do the fancy dancing. And so she'd get me to have a few drinks and we'd get out there. It looked like I was leading. That's the way it usually looked. But as soon as she wanted to make a move, I knew what move she wanted to make, and I was right with her. I just instinctively knew when she wanted me to spin her and all that kind of stuff. And so uh, she'd always have, after I had a few drinks, she'd say, "All right, Larry, let's go. We're dancing." And so like I said, I've done some ballroom style dancing. I'm just not real good at it. And I'm real, yeah, Tim, you're right. I got to be thrifty with my money. Like I said, of the expats, I'm not on the low end, but I'm towards the low end. There's a lot of expats. I have a lot less money than I do, and but probably a lot more expats that have more money than I do. Uh, I'm more towards the bottom of the middle of the group. I'm going to have somewhere in the middle, but more towards the bottom of it, of what I want to spend anyway. Uh, I do have enough that I'll be able to afford to live and do what I need to do, but not if I get crazy with my money. Because, like I said, that's going to wipe out some. Getting my teeth fixed is going to wipe out some money. Uh, I figure I don't. I'm not even going to take a guess how much. I know it'll be less than what it would cost me here. If I just did the bare minimum, it would cost me. I'd have to work an extra 6 months minimum. If I wanted to do what would be considered probably the best thing to do, if I'm not going to replace all of them, would have cost me a year. Extra working another year, or close to it. And because just no, I don't want to work that much more. I'm already working more than I want to, but my lease isn't up till the end of February, and I don't want to leave during the winter. So I got to work through March. And then I got to get this place cleared out. So I got to keep this place through April. Uh, but I don't plan on being here the whole month of April. A couple weeks of April, that's it. I want to be out of here by the middle of April, out of this apartment. Then I'll go back to Indiana, visit with my two sisters, my niece and great niece and my cousins back home. And probably spend a couple weeks to 3 weeks back there, maybe a little longer. Then I'll come back, stop in Batavia, visit with my brother-in-law John and my nephew Tim for a little while. Then I'll come back down here to Albany and visit with my friends that live here in Albany. And then I'll have to be at the airport like 4 in the morning on the 18th because the plane leaves around 6. And you got to be there at least an hour early. I'll try to get there 2 hours early. I don't like to push things. I like to have as much time as possible. That's why I can be lazy and just take my time. That really is all that is. I don't like to be rushed. If I know I got to be there and I can get there earlier than when I have to be there, I'm a happy man. Especially in a situation like this because I'm going to be anxious to go. And I don't want to be anywhere near late to get on that plane. I don't want to take a chance on missing that plane at all. No. So you want to be there plenty of time so you know you get on the plane and go. And so like I said, my plane leaves sometime a little after 6. I'll be there by 4. And we'll fly to Chicago. Take about an hour to get to Chicago. I'll have about a 45-minute layover in Chicago. I'll leave Chicago, go to Montreal. I'll have like a 2-hour and 16-minute or 2-hour and 35 minutes, one or the other. And then I'll leave Montreal to Tokyo, and whichever one I have at Montreal, I'll have the other one at Tokyo as the layover, and then right into Cebu. I'll get there after 10 o'clock at night, Cebu time. So about 27 hours, I think, total, counting the layovers. So it'll be tough, but that's why I got the 2 days there at that one hotel instead of one, because it lets me just pass out and sleep. I can just sleep all day if I need to. Because if I sleep on the plane, I may not need to. But now, when I went to China back in 1999, there again, I was a much younger man. I was in my 40s. I did not have jet lag going over. The jet lag is when I came back to the States. I would love not having jet lag when I get there. But we'll see. You know, I figure I'm going to count on having jet lag because of my age and the fact that, it's going to be a long trip. Yeah. But I'm going to do more than, like I said, let me look here real quick. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we leave at 6:15. And so it's an hour and a half to Chicago, a little over, because I'll get to Chicago at 7:48. Then at 8:45, I leave Chicago and arrive in Montreal at 12. All right. Then I leave Montreal at 13:05. So it's only an hour and 5 minutes. Oh, that's not bad. And I go to Tokyo at 15:25 when I get there. And now here's where the long layover is. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. I leave Tokyo at 17:55 and get to Cebu 22:05. So, and so that's what my itinerary is. And So like I said, I got to leave at 6:15. I want to be there by 4. That way, I want to try to arrive by 4. That way, if there's any hassles getting there because of traffic or a wreck or something, I have plenty of leeway of time. And then when I get there, if I have trouble getting checked in and all that, I'll have time to do that. Because remember now, I'm taking an extra baggage with me, so I got to pay for it. Hopefully, I'll have it paid for the day before. But if I have trouble, I can do it there. I'll have time to get it done and get it checked in. It's just, I'd rather build in more time than I need and not need it than need it and not have it there. Especially on something like this, because if I miss that flight, when can I book the next one? And how much more do I have to pay for it? Because if I missed a flight because of my fault, I may have to say, well, you're tough out of luck. Now you got to buy a new ticket. You buy a new ticket at the very last minute, that's real expensive. So, like I said, I'd rather have all that extra time and not need it. Well, for international flights, you should get there even earlier. National flights, they say about an hour before. Uh, so, but the nice thing about me, my national flight, or international flight, I'll already be at the airport. Everything will already be checked in. I already have my tickets. I'll just have to go from one terminal to the next. According to I checked it. I'll be at Terminal 1 for the national flight in Chicago. I'm going to Terminal 2 in Chicago for the international flight. They say it's about a 15-minute walk. And my luggage is checked all the way through. So I don't have to go get the luggage. All I got to do is get there in time to get on the plane. And I got 47 minutes or something like that. 45, 47 minutes. Somewhere there, maybe 50 minutes. Somewhere in that length to get there. And if they say it takes 15 minutes. So that should give me plenty of time. And then at the other places, I even got longer, and it's going to be in this same terminal when I leave. I'll be in the same area. Because I'm going to fly Air Canada to Tokyo. Now, I think I might go back to United from Tokyo to Cebu. I know it's United from Albany to Chicago, Air Canada from Chicago to Montreal, and Air Canada from Montreal to Tokyo. And I'm thinking I'd go back to United for the last leg of the trip. I'd have to look again, but I believe that's the case. And when I switch airlines again to Tokyo, that's where I have the longer break. So that's not a problem. So, like I said, the luggage is supposed to be checked all the way through. So we're good with that. Like I said, we're going to be good to go when I get there. I'll make sure all my luggage is checked in, except for my carry-on. I'll have the carry-on and my CPAP both. I'm allowed to take my CPAP all the way as part of my carry-on. It does not count as I don't have to pay to carry it because it's medical equipment. So I don't know if I'll use it on the plane. I got a neck brace that I use when I sleep. It's made to help with for people who have sleep apnea. So it's made to help keep your mouth shut. And if I'll find out if I have to have that in my carry-on, if I can put it in my CPAP with my CPAP. Because when I try to sleep at first, that's probably all I'll try to use. It's just that. And just lean back a little bit, have that. That'll keep my head up a little bit. And I sleep, if I don't use a CPAP, I sleep better sitting up than I do if I lay down. You get a better sleep if you're sitting up without the CPAP. And so I'll see if I can get a good sleep without using the CPAP on the plane. And then, like I said, I'll be ready to beat boogie, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, I'll be close. Being perfectly honest, The thing that I'm a little bit more excited right now because it's closer. Hey, Lorraine, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Is retiring. Uh, my retirement date has got me more excited because it's closer and it's the end of an era. I've been working off and on real jobs. I'm not talking about paper routes or cutting grass or shoveling snow or raking leaves. I'm talking about a job where you go in, you clock in, you do your time, and you get paid for it. I've been doing that off and on since I was 15 years old. I can't say constantly, but I've been doing it off and on since 15. And here I am, 72. Uh, that's what, 57 years I've been working off and on. So it's about to end, which makes me extremely happy. It's only been 56 to be 57 this summer. My first job was a summer job. So it's going to be just short of 57 years of working off and on for a paycheck. And so, yeah, that will, when that approaches, I'll be real excited. I'll be anxious and happy for the other one, don't get me wrong. But it just, because when I retire, it's the start of the journey for me. That's when it really starts. Because I wouldn't be going to the Philippines if I wasn't retiring. It's like for me, I didn't have like Jerry goes over every so often. I don't have that option. Yeah, I could do it, but then it would take me longer to retire. I go over. Let's say I go over this year for 3 weeks. I couldn't retire this year. I couldn't even retire next year. I'd have to retire the year after because of my lifestyle, what I did. Like I said, I'd go into debt, take a while to get out, go back into debt, take a while to get out, go back. And I did that off and on most of my adult life. I was in and out of debt. Going into debt never bothered me. It would drive, I had family that couldn't believe how far in debt I was. That would drive them nuts, and it didn't bother me a bit. I was paying it off. I made the debt, I'll pay it off. And that's what I did. But I would be broke for quite a while to pay it off. I went to debt to go to China in '99. I didn't have that cash. I just put it on the card. Let's go. Uh, I did that up to Canada a few times. Put it on the card. I don't care. Sounds like fun. I'll go into debt for it. And that's just the way I live my life until I decided that actually wanted to retire and do something different. I was already in debt quite a ways by then. And then when I moved down here where I'm at, I went to debt because I didn't have my own furniture. Uh, I had a coffee table, a computer desk, and a computer chair. That's all the furniture I had besides my TV and the TV stand. That's it. The bed, it was just an old cheap old bed. I left it. I didn't bring that down with me. I bought another one. I didn't have a couch. I didn't have a recliner. I didn't have any real good kitchen chairs. I had some plastic ones that were decent, but they weren't really what you'd call great. I still have a couple of those, but I didn't have a lot of stuff. I never needed it because where I lived was upstairs. And my mom, well, like I said, even when she was healthy enough to travel back then, she wasn't climbing up those stairs to my apartment. She wasn't doing it. She wasn't that healthy. My sister Ruth Ed, like I said, she had MS. She wasn't doing it. My sister Alta, well, she makes me look like I'm in good shape. She wasn't doing it. My sister Wanda, who lived close by, she wasn't doing it. She didn't want to climb those stairs. She had a bad back. So the only ones that would come up would be my nephew Tim and my brother-in-law John, and they rarely came up. So I didn't need a lot of furniture. So once I moved here, now I'm on the first floor, and I have people that come over more often. So I needed more seating spaces. And I could have bought cheaper furniture, but I thought if I'm going to buy good furniture, I'm going to buy really good furniture. You know, I may never buy new furniture again. I don't know. but I was willing to go into debt for the furniture. I got that paid off in less than a year. I got that paid off. Uh, well, no, a little over a year. I had a year and a half to pay for it and not have to pay interest. So I had it paid off in less than a year and a half. Kept me broke to get it paid off. Uh, so once I got that paid off, I had another bill I had to get paid off. I got that paid off real quick. And then I started buying a few things for the apartment that I paid cash for that I wanted. And then slowly started saving money because I started seeing, all right, I'm going to be able to go now. I'm far enough. I'm able to put back some money. It's going to take me a while to put back the money I want, but I'll be able to do it. And so I've been working on this for quite some time. I didn't tell too many people about my plans until I knew it was about ready to come to fruition. I told a lot of my family and my friends here locally. I told them about it last year, early last year or late the year before. So they've known about it for over a year. And like I said, a couple of my sisters were all for it. A couple were a little hesitant because they were afraid they might never see me again. I didn't tell my mom about it because I wasn't going until she passed away anyway. So there was no sense even telling her. Plus, like I said, she had dementia, so I told her she might not remember it anyway. And so my friends here locally were for it. Now, uh, the guy I went out to lunch with him and his wife, son, and his mother. We went out to lunch today. He was asking me. He asked me about where I was going to be. Uh, he asked me that yesterday, and I told him the city, Cebu, and I told him how to spell it because he wanted to know how far it was from Manila. So he went on Google and looked everything up, and so we were talking about that today. His wife asked me a few questions, like why the Philippines and stuff like that. Like most people want to know why you picked where you're going. And I told him, well, I was there before. The people are friendly. English is a second language. Uh, I can afford to live there on just my Social Security. I won't have to work. I'm tired of working. I want to quit working. It's warm all year round. I'm tired of the ice and cold and snow. Just tired of it. And like I said, I was in the Philippines. People are very friendly. There's just so much, that I like about it. So that's why I'm going. And so, it was their curiosity. And hey, they bought lunch. Huh? That's fine. Excuse me. So I was talking to them about that today. And I told them that it's 128 hours from today. I'm 128 days from today. I wish it was only 128 hours. Man, that means I'd been retired for a little bit. I'd be real excited if it was only 128 hours. Woo! I'd probably start having trouble sleeping. So excited, so ready to get going. Uh, I will. Thanks, Tim. I don't think I even thought about that, but yeah, I'm going to wear a jacket, even though it's going to be in May. Uh, I want to wear a jacket with a zip pocket because that's where I'm going to put my passport. And I thought about an inside pocket, but if I can't find a jacket I like with an inside pocket, I'll get one with a chest pocket that zips. Uh, and I got a passport protector, but they say not to put it. I got it in, so all I got to do is open it up and it's right out. I don't. It's not stuck in anything. It's just help protects it a little bit. Uh, so yeah, and I don't know how well I should do this. I got a thing I can wear over my under my shirt with a chest thing. I can put stuff in there if I want, or I got a money thing I can wear around my waist. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use because I'm going to have cash that I'm taking that I don't want. I won't be pulling out anywhere. The money I'll be pulling out will be in my wallet. I don't know if I showed. Let me see if I can get this out. I got this new wallet. It's hard to get out of it. It really freaks me out how hard it is to get it out of this pair of pants. I got I got another pair just exactly like this, except with a different color. But they're same size, same brand, the same everything. And I can pull it out of the pocket easy. It's cargo pants. All right. I don't know if you can. It's if you watch this, all your cards pop up. And then and then you do this. There's your money. My money will be in this part of my wallet. Oh, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. But there's a picture of my mom and dad when my dad was healthy. And so I don't know how well you can see that. But that was my mother and father back, oh God, years and years ago. Like I said, my father died in 1980, so and he was healthy. My father was on total disability, was it 14 years or 15 years before that? So we're looking at about 70 years ago. So I was very young when that picture was taken. And I was probably taken in 64. No, it had to have been before 64. Let's see, around 1960, 61. Maybe a little later, maybe 62 or 63. Somewhere in there. Yeah, somewhere in there. Around 60, early 60s, early to mid 60s. So that was what, 60 some years ago? Yeah. But so yeah, well, I like that. It's one of those RDIFs or RI. One of those supposed to block people from trying to copy your information. It has that blocking stuff. No, Tim, I did it all on my own. Well, my friend helped me. Uh, the female Chinese friend of mine, the brother sister I know, she travels. She done a lot of travel, international travel. Matter of fact, she's in China right now, visiting an old friend over there. But she's been to uh, Poland. She's been to Portugal, all for almost all for work. But she does her own booking, and so we were talking and looking at different sites and looking at different places to book through. And I came upon this ticket while we were talking, and I looked at it. I looked at the price, and I found out I could leave through. She says, "Why don't you see if you can leave through Albany?" It was her idea to try to see if I could leave through Albany. And so when I put in leaving from Albany to Cebu, this popped up. It was cheaper than going from New York City to Cebu, about the same length of time and travel. Uh, to go to New York City, it was about $80 more, but with less layovers. I'd go to New York City, fly out of JFK either to uh, L.A. or to San Francisco. It was the two, I believe it was San Francisco, were the two places I would fly to. They were the same cost, they were the same time, but one was going one was going the other. Then you'd leave there, and both of them were stopping in Taipei, and then flying into Cebu. So it was two stops. Okay. Whereas the one I'm going is Chicago, Montreal, Tokyo, three stops instead of two. There was no direct flight, but there was always two stops. And then I would have to pay to get from here to JFK. Now, the thing is, you can take a bus shuttle from Albany Airport to JFK. And that, as far as I know, I don't think there's any stops in between. I could be wrong, but my understanding it went from the Albany Airport to JFK. And it would cost you $80 or more plus taxes. So let's say $100 and 75. So that's 175 to $200 more. And it was more inconvenient because I'd have to leave. Because, like you said, you want to get to the airport with plenty of time. I'd have to leave, I think it was 10 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't get there at about 2 or 2:30, somewhere in there. So you don't want to try to leave at 4 because what happens if there's a wreck? So I wouldn't be leaving until 6:30 or 7. That's the time frame I was looking at leaving, 6:30 at night. So now you look at the time that you're leaving, the time you spend on the bus to get there. Hey, Tina, how you doing, Tina? Thanks for coming. And it's just like, I'd rather have the extra stop and leave right from Albany. And it saves me money. So like I said, I can pay for the extra uh, luggage, the extra check on, and still be cheaper than going to uh, JFK and flying by about $100 cheaper. And with one less carry-on there. I have one more here, it'd still be $100 cheaper. So that's what I did. It was just, I got to, it's not going to be that complicated. I get to Chicago. I have about, just under an hour, about 45 minutes let's say 50 minutes to get from one terminal to the other. They say it's only supposed to take like a 15-minute walk. Now, all my luggage will be transferred except for my carry-on, and I'll get my carry-on when I get off the plane. I'll have it. And it's only supposed to be about a 15-minute walk. And everything's checked in already. I'll already have my ticket, so I just have to go from Terminal 1 to Terminal 2. Terminal 1 is the local or national flight. Terminal 2 is the international flights. I'll get there. I'll get on my plane there. I'll go to Montreal, flying the same airline out of Montreal that I flew in out of Chicago to Montreal, same airline. So it'll be the same terminal. I got about an hour break there. I think it was a little over, about an hour and 5 minutes or something like that. And then I'll get on the airplane there, and I'll fly from Montreal to Tokyo. Once I get to Tokyo, I'll have about a 2.5 hour layover. And I'll be changing airlines, if I remember right. I'll be going back to United. And I'll fly from Tokyo right into Cebu. So I land right in Cebu. I wanted to avoid Manila. I did not want to go through Manila. So I'll get to Cebu on the 19th, a little after 10 o'clock at night, Cebu time. I'll leave a little after 6 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time here in the United States on the 18th. So that means I would get to Cebu a little after 10 o'clock in the morning on the 19th U.S. time. So that means, about 28 hours? Just about 28 hours travel time. And that's counting the breaks. So that's not too bad, if you ask me. Now, I flew directly when I went to Beijing, China, back in '99. I flew directly out of Detroit to Beijing. And I can't remember if it was the way over or the way back, but that was a 16-hour flight going directly. Because it gets to headwinds, so it slows you down. And then the other way was 13 hours. That might have been coming back was 16 hours. I don't remember. But then I flew from Detroit to Erie, Pennsylvania. I flew from Erie, Pennsylvania to Detroit because everybody that was going with me when I went to Beijing, a friend, as a matter of fact, the Chinese girl I've known for years, her and her friends, some guys, one of the guys that she was dating at that time, we were all going to China. Now, they were going because they found out I wanted to go. They asked, hey, can we go with you? It's like, not a problem with me. I mean, there's not her and I going as a date because we don't date. We never have. We've just been friends. And I've noticed we met in college. And we've now known her for 37 years or more. But it just, had a blast. Was there for 3 weeks. Did not have jet lag going over, but I had it real bad coming back. Oh, jet lag was kicking my backside when I came back. So I'm hoping I don't have jet lag going over, but if I do, I plan on sleeping quite a bit. That's why I got a 2-day hotel stay in Lapu Lapu. Not about, I guess my car about 9 minutes or so from the airport. And so I'll stay there for a couple of days, and then I'm going to go into Cebu City itself. And I got a hotel there for 8 days. That'll give me enough time, hopefully, to find a place. I thought about just doing 2 days, but it's like I don't want to be rushed and making a decision where I want to live. I want to be able to go and look at a couple different places, find out what the cost is. I'm going to check on that. They say sometimes as a senior they'll let you have one for free. I'll find out, and I'll find out what it costs to have one. I don't think I won't need it in Chicago. Where I'll need it at would be either Montreal or Tokyo, maybe both those places. But in Chicago, like I said, I got less than an hour, and I'm going to spend, knowing me, I'll spend 20 minutes or so getting over there. I'm not going to be rushing it. And I'll get over to the airport, get checked on, and get out. So, but yeah, we'll look at that. Oh yeah, Tokyo. I will need. I would like to have a lounge pass there because that's going to be over 2 hours. And so yeah, I really would like to have a lounge pass in Tokyo. I'm going to start looking into buying maybe a new phone. I got one that's got dual SIM that's an older. I'm going to take it with me. I'll have it fully charged. I'm going to have everything off of it that I hope will work in the Philippines for what, it's got a 4G, 5G. I think it's 5G. It's a Chinese phone that I had that didn't really want to work with my. I have. Hang on a minute. Well, my phone carrier. I won't bother trying to figure out what it is. Hey, our Filipino Adventure, how you doing, man? If you want, come on up. But anyway, like I said, it's just yeah. Like I said, the closer we get, the more excited I'm getting. Yeah, I know, Kevin. We're leaving right about the same time. I think I'm a day before you, if I remember right. I think you're leaving on the 19th, right? And if that's the case, then you got 129 days till takeoff. I got 128. And I'll get there on the 19th at 10 o'clock at night, a little after 10, actually. And I leave here a little after 6 in the morning. I'm flying out of Albany. Hey, it's just that I decided I had enough work. I'm done. My lease runs out at the end of February, but I don't want to leave during the winter. I'm out here on the West Coast, East Coast. Listen to me. I'm on the East Coast in New York State, and I said, no, I'll go ahead and work another month, a little over. I'll go month to month for about 2 months, and then I'm going to work all the month of March into April just a little bit. Then I got to get rid of everything I have. I'll sell whatever I can, and I don't care about the rest of it. I'll take some stuff, but I'm not taking everything. And then I'll go back to Indiana in April for, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe a month. I do plan on going up to Luzon sometime. I'm just not sure when. I got to get this repaired first. Tina, I plan on staying in the Philippines. I don't plan on going back to Indiana. Kevin, I know, not planning on going back to Utah either. He's just him and his wife just retired, and him and his wife have been building a house there in the Philippines, It's not quite completed yet, but it's enough that they can live in it. And they're going to go back to the Philippines and enjoy their retirement along with their son Fritz. Uh, I'm not sure if his other son's going or not, or if he's already back there. But yeah, like I said, Tina, I don't plan on coming back to the States. Doesn't mean I won't, but I don't plan on it. I promised myself I'll stay there at least a year. Uh, I know, Kevin. I know you're not coming back. All right, Dad. You go back and see your mom. All right. I don't blame you. And yeah, like I said, though, I promised myself minimum of a year. I'm thinking I might want to make sure a minimum of a year and a half. Because let's be honest about it. I'm going to Cebu. That doesn't mean Cebu's going to be for me. But I want to get this dental work done. So I'm going to be in Cebu for 3 to 6 months, probably minimum. I don't blame you, Tina. Let me know when you're coming. We can meet up somewhere. Uh, and then after I get the dental work done, if I know Cebu's not for me, I'll start looking around. And if I do know Cebu's not is for me, I'll probably still look around. There's some areas I want to go visit. Like I said, I want to go to Dumaguete, Valencia area. I want to go to Iloilo. I want to go to Val. There's some places on Luzon I'd like to go see. Tim's on Luzon. I want to Crystal's on Luzon. Subic Bay, which is where I was at in the Navy. But I want to go up to Manila as well sometime. Because I want to go see the Grand Canal, the Venice Grand Canal Mall. I also want to go see the World War II cemetery there, and I believe that's in BGC. It might be Makati. It's in one of the two. And so, yeah, I really want to go see it. Some things. And like I said, I like to go to Leyte, which is where Dan and Mad Minnie live. There's a couple places in Leyte I wouldn't mind seeing. So yeah, there's a lot of places I want to go look at. Some of them, like I said, if Cebu's not for me, some of them will be places I'll be checking out for living. Iloilo's got a gorgeous river walk. Nice, clean city. Very walkable, bicycle friendly. If I was to live in Iloilo, I'd probably get an e-bike and do walking and e-biking. Because an e-bike you can pedal, but then when you don't want to pedal, the electric keeps you going. So that would be something I would look at. But it all depends where I live. I mean, like I said, let's say I decided to move to someplace smaller like Valencia or right outside of Dumaguete. There's a couple places. I would probably get a motorcycle, or not a. Let's be honest about it, probably a scooter, a small one, so I can get around easier. And but if I stay in Cebu, I'm not buying a vehicle. They got plenty of public transportation, lots of ways of getting around real easy. And I don't think I'd want to drive in that traffic. It's just like I don't like. I've driven in Chicago. I've driven in New York City. I've driven in San Diego and Los Angeles. I've driven to a lot of large cities. But that doesn't mean I enjoy it. Bowls Coffee, like I said, I want a place where I can walk and have a cup of coffee. Maybe a Dunkin' Donuts and have a donut and a cup of coffee. But more than likely, I want a place I can go sit down, have a cup of coffee, and watch people. I enjoy being a people watcher. I enjoy that. But I want to go to the top of Cebu. I want to go see the Magellan's Cross. There's just so much to see. No, I've never been to Thailand or Vietnam. Of the two, if I was going to go just to visit, I'd probably go to Vietnam. If I was thinking about moving to one of the two, it'd be a hard choice. I'd have to check out their immigration requirements. How often do you have to leave? Uh, and how much easier is it to get around without knowing the local language? That's in the Philippines. It's easy to get around without knowing the local language, as you well know. Uh, but no, I had orders to Vietnam when I was in the Navy. They were canceled. So, like I said, I've been to Japan. I've been to Taiwan. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to the Philippines. All of those places while in the Navy. But I was in Yokosuka, Japan during the Paris peace talks back in '73. And my ship had orders to Vietnam, and they canceled it because even though we were non-combat, we were a repair ship. The ship I was on was a repair ship called a tender, a destroyer tender. And because there was no destroyer tender there, they were afraid that would be, if they said it, they were afraid that would be construed as stepping up the war action, which during peace talks, you either maintain or you step down the war action. You don't step it up. And because if we went there, ships that may have had to leave to get repaired would not be able to stay online with us there being repaired. That could be considered stepping up the war action. So they canceled our ship's orders. And then I was there again in 75, 74, 75 is when I was overseas the next time. And I turned 21 in the Philippines in 74. 75, we left Japan, was on our way back to the United States when Saigon fell. We almost got turned around and go back and pick up people, but we were far enough away they decided not to send us back because it fell that quick. And that was in 75. So, like I said, I've never made Vietnam. I do know a lot of people that was there. My older brother was in on his first ship. His second ship was my ship. He was there before he pulled brother duty with me. Yeah, Dan, I think it would be a nice place to visit, but I'm talking about if I was going to move, I would have to consider all aspects. I know Thailand's not, or Vietnam, either one is very expensive. I can afford to live in either one of the two places. But how long can I stay on a tourist visa without having to leave the country is something I would take into consideration because that's part of your cost. I mean, if I had to leave every couple of months for the Philippines, and I didn't have to leave and I could stay for 3 years in Thailand, I'd have to consider Thailand seriously. Although I prefer the Philippines. So if all else was being equal, I'd be in the Philippines. I don't think I could live in Thailand. I don't think I could. Like I said, I did a lot of research on Thailand. When like I said, back in 2017, I was following, for every Filipino vlogger I followed a vlogger in Thailand. And I did that for a couple of years. So whenever I added one from one country, I'd add one from the other. I kept the same number until I made my decision. And once I made my decision, I cut out almost all of them but one or two of the Thailand people. And then eventually I cut them all out. But I used to follow a guy named Thailand Rob, 20 Seconds in Thailand. He's one of I think he was the first one I followed in Thailand. I think Ricky, Life Beyond the Seas, I think he was the first Filipino vlogger. And now he wasn't a Filipino, but the first expat in the Philippines I followed. And like I said, then I found Chris and Cebu, and I found all these others. I don't blame you, Dan. I mean, after a while, you get tired of going back to the same place, especially when there's other places you haven't been to. I mean, it just, yeah, that was one of the things that about Thailand I didn't like, and they change their rules so much. They're changing. It's ridiculous how often. When I was watching, they changed the rules quite a few times. Just as I was watching for a couple of years, seemed like every year or every so many months they were changing something about the rules, and so it's like I just I think both locations the people are friendly. I really do, but I just like I said, I worked with a bunch of Filipinos in the Navy. We served together. Almost a third of my department was Filipino, and so I got to know quite a few Filipinos when I was in the Navy. A few of them I met their wives and kids, and they were all amazing people, really friendly, great. I dated a few Filipinos when I was in the Navy. You know, what can I say? I mean, I just that drew me more towards the Philippines because of my familiarity with some of the people and a little bit of the culture. I don't know all of it, but I know it's common for two guys to walk down arm in arm that are straight. That used to freaked a lot of us out at first until we found out that was just part of the culture. The same thing with women. Nothing for them to hold hands and be straight. Now, we'd find that a little strange here in the States. Not as much now as we would back in the 70s. But, yeah, so like I said, I got accustomed to that. Uh, so, like I said, it's just my familiarity with as many Filipinos I do, my familiarity, more familiarity to their culture than the Thai culture. The fact that the visa system is so much easier. The fact that I can wander around Philippines by myself and go anywhere, pretty much. There's certain areas I wouldn't go to, but I can find people that speak English. Uh, so I can communicate with people and be able to travel if I want by myself. As long as I'm single, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be taking somebody with me just to take somebody with me if I'm single. Now, if there's another person that wants to go and they're paying their own way, cool. But I'm not paying somebody else's way if I'm not dating them. But I'm not going to just. I'm not the kind that I can't go by myself. Yeah, I can. I go out to eat all the time by myself. Doesn't bother me a bit. I'll travel by myself. It's cool with me. Uh, Now, there's things that, believe me, it's better to go if you're dating someone to go together. It's much more enjoyable to go with somebody that you like, even if you're just friends. But you know, you I'm not paying for somebody else to go on some of these trips. Now, maybe local, I want to go somewhere and I want to get together with a friend. Yeah, come on, I'll take care of it. That may happen. But if I'm going to another island, I'm not taking somebody that's just a friend. I'm not doing it. Uh, I can't because you got two hotel rooms or a double. You got to get double bed, two bedrooms. If you rent a condo, you got to get two bedrooms, so they got their own bedroom. You're spending more money plus the cost to get there, the food, because you're the one that invited them. No, I'll travel by myself in that case. And so yeah, but when I travel by myself, it'll probably be the areas where I'll be meeting up with people. I'll meet up with Tim. I'll meet up with Crystal. I'll meet up with uh, Elvie. I'll meet up with a lot of different people. And like when I go to the Val, there's a couple guys I know that live in that area. There's Jamie. His channel's Off the Cuff with Jamie. Off the Cuff Adventures or something like that with Jamie. And then there's Danny from Road to the Philippines. They both live not too far from Davao. And I think Crystal lives over that way. But she lives farther away, but she's over that way. And if I go to Davao, I'll probably go up and see Crystal. Uh, Not Crystal, excuse me, Elvie. Elvie. Crystal lives with Luzon. Sorry, Elvie. Don't want to get you guys mixed up. But I will go see Elvie and Crystal both eventually. Anna Mae lives up around Manila, so when I get to Manila, I'll probably see Anna Mae. Uh, but yeah, it's so yeah, it's the planning stage right now, and the exciting stage is coming. Said I got about 128 days till departure. I got about oh, I'm gonna say around 90 days till retirement. Going to be right around 90. It could be a little less, could be a little more, but right around 90 days till my last day of working. And when that happens, that's when I really start getting excited, because that's where the rubber meets the road, as an old saying goes. That's when it really becomes real. You're done working now. That's when it becomes real. Yes, I've already bought my plane ticket. Yes, I've already paid for my hotel room. So yeah, it's real, but it becomes real. I mean, really real once I retire. And like I said, right now, I'm getting. That's what I'm looking forward to right now the most. Only because, like I said, everything else comes. Because I can't do the other without retiring. I just can't do it. So I got to retire. So that's the first goal. But the end goal is 128 days from now. So I don't know if that's a long way of saying, yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm sure Kevin, if he's still here, he's getting excited as well. Him and his wife, like I said, they'll be going back, and along with their son Fritz, they'll be going back to the Philippines, and so like I said, I'm starting to look. Yeah, it's getting harder to retain the excitement, but it will happen. I'll retain it. I've never suffered in the military, in the Navy. I shouldn't say military. In the Navy, we have a term called channel fever. Now, channel fever happens when you're out to sea and you're getting close to pulling into port. It could be your home port, it could be any port, but you're excited to pull in and you can't sleep. That's channel fever. I never suffered from channel fever in my life. I mean, I always was ready to go into port, but I was always able to go to sleep. It never kept me awake. So I never suffered from channel fever. I have a feeling I will suffer from channel fever when I get real close to going. Now, maybe once I get on the plane, I'll be able to go to sleep. But I have a feeling the night before I leave, I'm going to have a hard time sleeping. I'm just going to be so ready to go. And like I said, I've never had that before. So that would be something new if that happens for me. And I hope it does. And in some ways, it'd be kind of nice to feel that much of excitement that you can't sleep. But like I said, I've never suffered from it before. So, got my hair cut today. I don't think you can tell, but I'm going to start growing my hair back out a little bit. Probably around April, I'll start growing my chin whiskers back. Because they say you should make sure you look like your picture on your passport. I think I do look enough like my picture that I probably don't need the chin whiskers back. But that's on my passport, so I'm going to grow them back. And when I get in the Philippines, I'll probably shave them off. But I'll grow it back just so I won't have that trouble. But yeah, I'm kind of, the more I talk about, the more I'm starting to get excited. But yeah, I don't know what my next live stream will be called. Oh, by the way, there's a good chance I may not do live streams when I'm in Terre Haute. My sister that I'll be staying with doesn't have internet, She doesn't want internet. That's my older sister that's still living with my older sisters. She's just not into it. She doesn't have a smartphone, doesn't want one. Oh, that's her prerogative, you know. It's her life, it's her house. Now, I'll probably do some videos, but I doubt if I'll do any live streams. And that's, but I'll remind you guys of that when we get closer. Uh, or who knows, maybe I'll get a hotel room and do a live stream just to do one. But yeah, I'll be back there for at least 3 weeks, if not 4. Then I'll come back here for a week or two, counting Batavia area where my nephew and my brother-in-law live, spending time with them. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's still here or not. If anybody's still here, go ahead and say hi. Otherwise, maybe I'll start shutting this one down. Looks like I got 4 people, it looks like. So we got a few people here. But I know it's Sunday morning. Oh, that's something else, folks. Once I get to the Philippines, my first one probably will be Sunday morning. But I'm going to want to know if I should keep this time slot once I'm there, or do you think I should maybe change my time slot to a different time that would be more advantageous for all of you? Right now, I'm keeping this because it's, you know what time I'm doing it, and it works for the people here. I want to, if I do it, it'll be if I change time slots, it'll either be in the evening of Saturday or Sunday. So it'll be in the morning in the States. So I don't know how well that'll work for them. But I really don't want to step on anybody else's. And right now, I am leaning towards changing my name once I get there to Triple L in Paradise. The reason why I decided on Triple L in Paradise is, let's say I decide not to stay in the Philippines and I go to Thailand or Vietnam. 2 months, huh? I don't blame you. But that way I don't have to change the title again. Also, if I say Triple L in Cebu, then I move, I can say Triple L in the Philippines. But that adds another word. And so I'm thinking Triple L in Paradise. You guys can give me your thoughts on that if you want. But that way I can still keep the Triple L and still just drop the Triple L, and my Nightbot will drop your link still. Also, if I do change my channel name, you won't have to do anything. It'll automatically kick you over to the new channel name. It's not a new channel, it's just a name to change, and it'll automatically keep you advised and let you know that the name change. That's it. There's nothing else you have to do. It's only me that has to do anything. But yeah, so we're leaning towards that. Lazy Larry Lee is fine, but do I want to keep that name and be in the Philippines, or which is I guess it's a possibility I could do that. I might just keep the name, but I thought maybe change it up just so people look and will now know there's a difference. Lazy Larry Lee was in the United States. Triple L in Paradise is in the Philippines. So I thought that might be something to do. And so, like I said, if you guys have any thoughts on that, go ahead and let me know. If any of you know about setting up virtual mailboxes, if you rent and you're no longer going to be in the spot you rent, do you have to change your address before you transfer your mail to the virtual mailbox or not? So I'll find that out from them. They may give me an address that I have to use. If that's the case, like I said, I want to find out. And one of the things that's going on, I haven't told you guys this. One of the guys I've been working with, he's now thinking about coming to the Philippines before the end of the year. He and his girlfriend broke up a while back, and they were talking about going somewhere else once they retired. And I don't think he was talking about. I think he was talking about staying over here. like maybe Mexico or South America, maybe. But now that they broke up, uh, she wanted something about, because I don't want to just be friends. I guess she wanted to, oh, let's just be friends. No. He goes, no, I don't want that. I don't want to just be friends. So they broke up. And so anyway, he's now talking about moving to the Philippines before next winter. He doesn't want to spend another winter here. So I told him a couple of vloggers to check out. I told him to find vloggers at different areas of the Philippines. And I gave him a couple of people's names that just moved over in the last couple of months. So he can see what they're going through, what they did. They can follow their journey. And I said their information will be a lot more up to date than some of the other guys about cost, about what you have to do. It'll be a lot more up to date. I told him to check out my whiteboard checklist. That would give him a little bit of ideas. I told him I'd find out about the e-box, the virtual mailbox, and I'd let him know when I found out. And but I won't see him for a couple of weeks. He's got some things going on. He won't be at work for a couple of weeks. But hopefully I'll have that information by the time he gets back. Because like I said, I'm going to try to find out as much as I can on Monday. They might be open tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see if I got a number I can call them. The virtual mailbox. Because I really want to know, because if I got to change my address, then I got to change my address on my driver's license. And, all right, Tim. I'll be shutting down here in just a few minutes, man. I've been rattling long enough. And but yeah, so have a good one, Tim. Take care of yourself, man. Stay safe. Have fun. But yeah, so all right, everybody. Like I said, I will keep you updated as I go. Some of those mugs will go with me. There's one there that says, I got the vocabulary of a well-educated sailor. I do have that vocabulary. I got one there that has my name on it. I'll probably take that one. That was one where I donated to a monument that they were building for military people in Washington, D.C. I donated money for that, and they gave me a mug with my name on it. I got one there as for my Indianapolis Colts. I am a Colts fan. I doubt if I take this sweater with me, I might. But anyway, there's about 3 or 4 mugs I'll take with me. The rest of them are just, I collected mugs and shot glasses, and over the years, I'm not going to take them with me. I got way too many to take with me. They'd probably break anyway. But all right, folks, I've been going for almost 2.5 hours, so we're going to be taking this one down. I want to thank you all for coming. Like I said, I will update you along the way. I don't know if I'll have an update every week outside of how many days there's left to go. But once I know what day I'm retiring, I'll tell you that. Once I know about, I get my virtual mailbox set up or know what I'm going to do with that, I'll let you know about that. I'm going to get my new driver's license. I'll let you know when I get that. I'll have my new address. So my license will be good. And I was going to think about getting a motorcycle endorsement here in the States, but I'm not going to do that. I decided against that. If I decide I want to get a motorcycle, I'll take the courses in the Philippines and get the endorsement over there. But like I said, I will let you know when I make the steps, what I'm doing, and all that good stuff. So I will keep you informed as best I can, and I want to appreciate you all for coming along and giving me encouragement. And, and I do look forward to meeting a lot of you in the Philippines. I won't be able to meet everybody, I don't think, but I'll meet as many of you as I can. I've already bought some souvenirs or gifts. They're nothing big, nothing major that I'll give to you guys. But I meet up with you as long as they last. It's from here in the States. All right, everybody. Let me shut this one down. I want to thank you for all for coming. Remember now to be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And as always, try to have fun. Love you guys. Take it easy now. Let me end this one. And bye.